Um, this is more of like for men, which they won't listen to because guess what? I'm a woman. They don't like women very much now, do they? There's a bunch of books about homoeroticism. I want to say that was Sylvia book or something. No, I'm mixing up authors. Anyway, there's always a bunch of books you can watch and read about all of this good stuff about how the patriarchy creates men to just only care about other men. So they don't even like women. They mostly like men. They admire men. They don't admire women. They don't give a shit about women. They don't view women except for fleshlights. Um Ultimately, I'm just saying this about from my own perspective, and guess what? This is the perspective of not being an expert and not giving you anything. If you want to, I want to say, I don't even remember the authors yet. There's it's Sylvia Plath. It's not the one I'm thinking about. Hmm. No, I'm missing the black author that she gave all this good fucking info that I'm really forgetting her. That's very racist of me, I'll be real. Fucking me over again, right? Um, you know what? I never read it. If I want to, I will read it. So I can look over for that myself. Um, from my perspective of just my little life, um, men, uh, this is from also, I'm a sex worker. I'm an online sex worker, used to be full service, that type of stuff. Um, I've had, let me see. I want to get to it. Ultimately, men, they do not view um, women as human beings, usually until they're very lonely. Because men don't they don't know how to emotionally regulate, and they rely that on mostly on women because of the family, the neutral, or what do you say? Nuclear family, that they expect a lot of things based on the patriarchy for how a family is supposed to be, which is a nightmare. Ultimately, your best family would be having multiple parents, multiple people raising kids. It would be like a village, and there's somebody who already educated based on that, which is literally about people talking about that. I don't have that. I don't expect people to look for any of that because I'm not an educator. I'm just speaking stuff because you can get all of this info as much as you want from the internet if you gave a shit. So, with men, they have this idea of protection. They have this idea of, oh, I will make it safe for women, but they always forget that it's also them that is the one that is, it's always going to be males, men who are our predators. I don't have an issue with I don't have an issue with coyotes. I don't have an issue with pumas. I don't have an issue with bears. Like they'll do whatever they're gonna do because they just have all their shit doing as a bear. They don't give a shit about me. Men still want to control women, and why is that? Because of the hierarchy of male predatorial rules. They're expected. They assume that all of them can be protectors, but they don't really have that option because they're still part of the pyramid that they are creating. Um, Ultimately, they create I'm sure there's people who educated better. Yes, go ahead. Um, Ultimately, because they only believe in men, they only believe in all of that because they can't accept for people for actually being human beings. They like women as human beings, children as human beings, all that type of stuff. They only expect of a version of perfectionism of other men. This is why the homoeroticism involves the and they always think that the predators are only going to be doing it to women because they also know that men are predators themselves. It's another version of throwing someone under the bus, that they already know predators will be destroying human beings. So at least I can just make that happen to kids, because then it will be less to me. I can do that to women because then it'll be less to me. And then also I can say I'm a protector because I can make sure that if I have a very specific amount of humans that I value in some form for women or children, like my own spawn or my own wife or my own sister, that I can protect those because I value them to a certain degree, that the predators I would fight those predators. The rest of them can just go there because we need the lambs there, otherwise I would be the lamb. If there was no women, there was no children, the predators would still need something to destroy. So the male belief includes that they would be destroyed from their own fellow peers if they did not have women there to abuse, children to abuse, animals to abuse. Ultimately, they're still holding the same belief of capitalist slaves and racism, that they will accept all of these things happen to people that are not their specific type. I'm white, then I would want more people who are brown or black because they're easier to be abused from capitalism and racism than I would get to it. So I will want to keep the predator here, so as long as they have people who will be able to appease the abuse. So I'm aware of it. I am aware of the abuse. I'm willing to let abuse happen so long as it's someone that can take the brunt. That is what men do. And men have been beaten. They get beat all the time from their fellow peers. There's not a time that they have not been beaten from other men. And I've seen that happen to all of them. Like, it's very few to see men who have not been also assaulted from fellow men. And they forget that, not even that they forget, they allow it to continue because they will get the lesser of anything that women will and children and animals will. So ultimately, the homoeroticism, along with into their toxic relationship with their fellow beings, that ultimately it's something that they're willing to accept, because when they think, oh, I'll get less beats because a lady will, I might as well do that. Instead of actually addressing the whole thing, you know what? Maybe we don't want serial killers. Maybe we don't want pedophiles. Maybe we don't want that. Because, but that's the thing. It's easier to dehumanize others so that you can accept an abuse so that you can have less, which isn't really addressing anything, and you're still going to get beat. You will be beat, but you just think you will have less. And then you also will be like, okay, well, maybe that's what I think is how men are supposed to be, because it's all the patriarchy about being masculine, which isn't even the same as masculinity. It's just the perception of the patriarchy for men being a certain way. They have this whole rule about masculinity, which isn't really the way that energy means. It's just the way they want for manliness. I wouldn't even say that as masculinity because that's a whole different energy. Manliness, machismo, macho-ness, whatever you want to say, that's what they're gonna believe in because it's easier than them expanding themselves. It probably only has to do with their emotional regulation. Anything they want to do to distract themselves from the actual assaults that they've already had already. They don't want to address the abuse, and they're going to continue to accept the abuse because I already know I'm going to have less because of all these ladies out there. But of course, well, hold on a second. I still want to be a protector because I still have sisters. I have my mom. I have my wife, which they don't even love their wife. They didn't believe women were people until they literally have daughters. And that's because it's straight up your own spawn, which means it's another version of you only give a shit for men. You wouldn't feel that way for me because I'm not your spawn. I'm not there in your blood, so it doesn't matter to you. But it does matter if it was from your stupid sperm. So it's another version of guess what? I only give a shit about men. Even though some will kill me, I might as well, because you know what? There will be less than we think, which isn't even true, because you get a lot of people, they kill each other all the time. Black on black is a scam. White on white is not, though. That shit's real. I'm just kidding. I don't know that about that enough. I just know, poverty and all that type of stuff. And of course, the not ability to deal with their own shame and all of that. So yeah. Um you're not a protector because you don't know how to protect yourself. You're not a protector at all because if you wanted to address to make sure that people could be safe, it would mean that you have to address your own shame, your own trauma, your own abuse to say, I don't deserve it, therefore, other people don't deserve it, therefore, children, animals, women do not deserve it either, which would mean you have to address that those are human beings. And you are a human being. They are human beings. They are human beings. They're human beings. Everyone does not deserve to be abused. Shits happens. They don't deserve it though. If you can't see those people as people who don't deserve that type of thing, it means you don't believe you either, but you think there's a hierarchy there. There is a pyramid that you will be there. And you already know that men already know there are people who are higher than you in a pyramid scheme. So, I don't know. Swallow it. Keep your own shit. I don't know. Do you want better in your life? Then you probably want to stop shaming yourself for being a human being. Nothing is supposed to be a rule. The rule should be things on shit that you care about. If you don't care about women, unless it's from your own blood and sperm, then you don't really care about that. You care about something you have. Is what it is. Um, I don't think people deserve to be assaulted. So I think people are human beings. I think things, animals, children that cannot consent and they don't deserve to be abused. I don't want that to be done. And I think those who have been assaulted or abused, they deserve to heal over whatever the fuck they have. So even those type of people on this iteration, they've been abused. I think they can still deserve to heal so long as they accept for their own stuff to grow and not even hold stuff up. If I assume that every single abuser um deserves to continue to be abused, it means I will never stop the circle at all. Every single piece of shit deserves to let go of being a piece of shit. Just is what it is. I don't want to hold on to all of this shame and all of that so you can just abuse and toxic other people and whatever it is, you know? I also think even billionaires can heal if they accept that, guess what? I don't deserve to be abused, therefore others do not deserve it either. Then they will be able to heal from that. They probably won't. Take what you think you deserve, which means you don't deserve love. I can't do anything for you. People only get things what they assume is all they can have, which means limited. Limited from whatever they're thinking of. So, yeah, men are in a pyramid scheme. They don't even have a masculinity, they have manliness, and they get beaten. They get beaten, they just hope they get beat less. So, I value human beings and I think they have their own time to grow things as much as they want or try the next incarnation. I don't give a fuck. This is mine and I just grow as best as I can and I hope that people can do their best as well. Yep. There's probably so much more explained much better. I just already know that everything is based on a pattern, that everything is still used. Racism is the same way. Capitalism is the same way. Sexism, of course, is the same way. A pedophilia is the same way. It's a system of patterns that everything has the same similarity, the same movement and wave that you will get of everything. It just has different variables or terms. So, I expect nothing. Because men don't listen to women. They don't. There are some men who might listen. That's mostly only if they accept that they deserve to do better in their life and they deserve that other human beings deserve full lives. Really human beings. They usually don't, the vast majority do not believe they are even humans at all. They just think they're just a man instead of being a human being with facets going into whatever they have, I'm only supposed to be this certain way. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit others. Stop accepting the abuse because you will be beaten. That's it. If all you can hold is anger or violence, you are shallow and you're not letting yourself to feel anything other. And that's a shame. It is a shame. You're holding a shame in you, but I meant what a bummer. What a bummer. So, yeah. It's not to say that this is only a man thing. It is mostly men, and then there's also women who don't know how to address themselves. They still also believe that the abuse is valid to them, which no one ever does. No one believes abuse. No one deserves abuse, is what I mean. I don't deserve any type of that stuff, so is what it's gonna be. I don't need that. I would like to grow. Do what you want. The more you can figure out what's the best for you, go to it. But nobody's ever gonna know that for you. It's your life. Don't help a pyramid scheme unless you, I guess, want to be in a pyramid scheme. Then you're not really getting what you really want to have from your life. So that's that. There's a lot of education stuff online that you could find that shit. I'm just telling you what I know on this iteration. So there you go.